You step out of a dark tunnel into the middle of a blindingly bright afternoon. The sunlight is completely overwhelming until you slide on a pair of dark lenses and instantly get relief. Because of how immediate and dramatic that relief is, most of us naturally assume that the more features a sunglass lens has, the better. Manufacturers know this, which is why polarized is heavily marketed as the ultimate marker of a premium, high-quality lens. But we need to separate the marketing from the medical reality. UV protection is a mandatory health requirement that shields your dilated pupils from harmful radiation. Polarization does absolutely nothing to protect your eye from UV damage. It is strictly a filter designed to cut glare for visual comfort. Choosing a polarized lens is a specific optical trade-off. You are actively deciding to block certain environmental light signals in exchange for a smoother, less fatiguing visual experience. This diagram shows exactly how that trade-off works. When scattered sunlight hits a flat horizontal surface, like asphalt or water, it reflects back as a concentrated horizontal wave of glare. A polarized lens acts as a microscopic vertical grid, physically blocking that horizontal light. You can actually see this grid in action. Take polarized sunglasses, hold them to a digital screen, and slowly tilt the lenses 90 degrees. Digital screens use their own polarizing filters to emit light. When you rotate your sunglasses, you cross those filters. The screen will either completely black out, or you'll see a severe, shimmering rainbow distortion. This test proves your lenses are polarized. It also perfectly illustrates exactly why this specific technology fails the moment you step into a highly technical environment. To understand when to buy polarized lenses, we have to look at environments where maximizing clarity is far more important than seeing micro-reflections. Looking at this image of a crowded, sunlit highway, the advantage becomes obvious. Polarized lenses effectively erase the blinding glare bouncing off the asphalt, the wet roads, and the dashboard reflections that peak during sunrise and sunset. You might find that your car's digital navigation screen looks slightly dimmer, but preventing driver fatigue and maintaining a clear view of the traffic ahead easily outweighs that minor inconvenience. In this photo, these fishermen are dealing with intense, continuous reflection off the water. Polarization strips away that surface mirror entirely, allowing them to actually see beneath the surface to track fish and navigate shallows. If your primary environment involves long hours on open water or heavy highway commutes, polarized lenses provide a clear, non-negotiable advantage for safety and success. But the math changes when you need precision depth perception. This tennis player needs to track every subtle movement of the ball as it travels across the court. By flattening the visual field, polarization removes the tiny, shifting reflections that reveal exactly how a ball is spinning through the air. And here on this crowded ski slope, the optical trade-off gets more serious. Navigating winter terrain safely requires reading the texture of the snow and ice in real time. Ice patches on a mountain, or black ice on a highway, naturally reflect light. A polarized filter blocks that specific reflection, turning a highly visible hazard into an invisible one. For court athletes and winter drivers, glare contains essential environmental data. A polarized lens effectively deletes it. This historical portrait of an aviator highlights a specific need for eye protection that carries over to modern cockpits. For pilots, polarization is strictly discouraged. Aircraft windscreens are built with heavy laminations and curved glass to withstand pressure and block UV light. When viewed through a polarized filter, these laminations show severe stress defects and massive visual distortions. Furthermore, whether you are looking at a vintage digital display, like this Waltham watch, or a modern aircraft instrument panel, the electromagnetic cross-polarization effect we tested earlier will cause those essential dials to black out entirely. If you operate heavy machinery, pilot an aircraft, or rely constantly on digital screens as a photographer, polarization crosses from being unhelpful to an active safety hazard. There is one final category that bypasses these environmental rules entirely: individuals who suffer from chronic migraines or extreme light sensitivity. For these patients, a polarized filter drastically reduces the overall intensity of visual stimulation, neutralizing the harsh light that triggers neurological symptoms.
While highly specialized migraine lenses do exist on the market,
Standard polarized sunglasses offer an accessible, effective first line of defense. Losing a bit of environmental data is a perfectly acceptable trade for significant neurological relief. Ultimately, your decision comes down to a single question. Do you need perfect compatibility with digital screens and precise depth perception, or do you need maximum glare reduction? If we map this out on a decision tree, the non-polarized path is clear. If you are a pilot, a photographer, a heavy machinery operator, or a competitive court athlete, standard tinted lenses provide the uninterrupted feedback you need to perform. Conversely, if your days are spent commuting on bright highways, sightseeing on the water, fishing, or managing light sensitivity, the polarized path will vastly improve your comfort. Whichever path you take, check the manufacturer's label to verify the lenses offer 100% UV protection. Do not assume polarization automatically covers your health requirements. Your daily habits and specific environment dictate the technology you need. Let your actual daily routine, not the marketing, make the final choice.